All right, we are recording. It is January 7th, and today we have Rachel Dimatteo hosting. She's going to talk to us about her system that she has in place, focusing on value. This person is so special to me. I just love her so much, and she has seriously just a heart for giving and servanthood, and I'm proud to know her. So I can't wait for you guys to hear from her. I'll take it over, Rachel.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I am so excited to be here with you ladies. First off, I want you guys to know that this is completely like, if you want to unmute yourself at any time and ask any questions, being that I'm going over a system, I want to make sure that you guys understand everything that I'm going to talk about. So please don't leave here with any unanswered questions. I'm an open book. I'll tell you everything. But first off, I want to obviously thank you guys so much. And just for you guys, and you obviously already know that Michael is like, you guys have such an incredible leader, and the way that she talks about you guys and how proud she is of you and just where she sees the vision of your team going, it literally gives me goosebumps. And I'm so excited for your team this year and to see what you guys accomplish. So just know how blessed you are. Honestly, I'm so blessed to have Michael as one of my success partners. So, okay. This system is newer to me. So that's why I wanted to share this with you, because I've been seeing a lot of success with it. And I've been in this season of rest recently. It's kind of like, God just kind of told me, Rachel, you need to chill out. I have been, since I started my business, just work. And it was working really well. And then last year I completely hit a plateau where I literally did not move anywhere for the first time in my entire career as a fitness coach. I did not advance in rank. My income didn't change. And that was really disheartening. And I, was trying to kind of find myself and figure out what it was I was doing wrong. And honestly, I felt like I was coming from the wrong place. I wasn't coming from a place of value, a place of serving others. It was more for my own agenda and my own success that I was looking for. And I had to kind of switch that around. And, we hear so many times other coaches talk about, this is just a numbers game. It's just a numbers game. But that numbers game, on the other side of that number, is a human being. And we're lumping them together as a number 20 that we need to send 20 invites today, or we need to do this, or we need to do that. And while I am completely a type A organization, like numbers person, like I want to know exactly, like, you tell me what I need to do to be successful or to advance, like I will do it. It doesn't always work like that. And God's kind of shown me the way to kind of slow down with this. So if you guys have you guys heard of Keith Callahan and Build to Last, the book that he did? Everyone's heard of that. Keith Callahan, you may not know him as being like one of our top coaches, but he is part of the Millions Club. He's had multiple $1 million earners below him. He is faith-centered also. What do I want to call it? I don't even know how long it's been since that book came out, but why can't I think of what I want to say? He like directed the book. He wrote a book. I'm losing my mind. He just recently wrote this book called Build to Last. I read it 3 times already, and I'll probably read it again. I think it's good to read, honestly, every quarter. Because it just teaches you how he builds. And there's a way to build where you're building for rank and you're building for recognition and all the like stars. And there's a way to build where you're building for family freedom and, freedom of time and freedom of finances, and to have that present time with the ones that you love, not being glued to your computer, not being glued to your phone. And that's how I need to build. I think that's how a lot of us need to build. There's nothing wrong with building for recognition. You're going to have that come naturally. But when you're building this specific way, you can let your head hit the pillow at night and have a peace of mind, knowing that you are, doing your due diligence, sharing this opportunity in hopes of serving other people and changing their life. So our, 3 staples have always been, connect, invite, follow up. And I want you guys to have a pen and paper in front of you. And I want you guys to add serve to the beginning of that, because this system does not work if you do not serve first. So it's going to be serve, connect, invite, follow up. Okay. And we're not going to aim to talk to 1 million people. This past September, for instance, I was sending between 50 to 70 invites a day, 5 days a week, religiously. August, September, October. You guys, it literally didn't get me anywhere. I was working like a crazy person because I wanted to reach these goals and I really wasn't impacting anybody's life. So what I did was I focused all of November and December on serving other people. I didn't ask for anything in return. I sent out free workouts. I made meal plans for people. I hosted free groups just like Michael offers to. Those things are so important in a society now where people are constantly getting messages in their inboxes on, yucky messages. And we've all done it. We've sent cold messages to people we've never talked to before, or sent invites multiple times to the same person and that person's never answered you. It's okay. Like, we're going to learn from our mistakes, but this system is not built like that. It's built that we are going to focus on the people who are interested. We're not here to try to convince anybody. We're just here to be here. And when we send those invites, it's just knowing that we're planting a seed and not expecting any kind of an outcome. So I want you guys, if any of you on here ever worry about fear of judgment or people not messaging you back or telling you no, and you are scared to invite because of that, just know that you would not feel like that if you felt like you were adding enough value on your page. So pretty much what I want is my Instagram stories and my Instagram page to be value. I want to have recipes. I want to help people with mom life, people who have dealt with postpartum anxiety and depression like I have, people who struggled in their postpartum body. I want to help other people who are lost in their faith find God. I want to help people with their fitness. Like, that's what I'm building my business around. So you really need to find out, what are you called to serve in? What struggles did you have and how can you help other people do that? But when you go to post, don't just post to check a box. If you honestly can't figure something out that you feel is going to be meaningful, or you feel like you're having writer's block, don't post, you guys. Make sure that your feed is something when people come to your page that they are going to fall in love with the amount of free value you're adding. And just know that you are changing the world and doing that literally. I think about all the times that before I became a coach that I used to scroll social media and I was looking for people who were posting recipes. I was looking for before and afters for people who had babies because I was pregnant and I just had a baby and I wanted to see what was possible. That's what we're doing. We're leading by example and showing other people what's possible. So serve, connect, invite, follow up. I'm going to give you my tangible system. So like I said, make sure you have a pen and paper. I was going to create a PowerPoint, but I really just wanted to speak from my heart and just share my notes with you so I can take a screenshot of this or a picture of this and send it to Michael if not. But number one is to find your 50 for the week. So here's what I do. I try to work 5 days a week. Okay. 2 days of that week, I am off. I am with my family. I am going to church. I'm spending more time with God. I'm making sure that I am being intentional. So you can do this however you want, but you should not be working more than 6 days a week. Like, it should not have to be like you feel like you need to show up all the time, but you're going to find your 50. So pick one day of the week. And I want you guys to post below what day you are committing to. I'm actually not going to look at the comments yet because I don't want to confuse myself. But if you had to pick one of your heavier workloads that you had a longer gap of time, or you were willing to stay up later, or you were willing to wake up earlier, or you had, a kid-free day, what day would that be? Because that's going to be this day that you're going to find your 50. This will take the most time. So one day out of the week, you are going to spend intentional time finding the people that you are going to serve that week. Okay? And that's 50 people all week long. Those are the 50 you're dealing with. Now, let me be truthful in saying, do not just pick the first 50 people that come to your mind. Do not pick the first 50 people who you see are following you. I want you to find like-minded people that you would want to sit across a table from and have a meal with, that you would enjoy hanging out with. This is so much about finding your tribe and being intentional with it than just finding anybody, because our products can serve anybody. And when you post those call to actions in your stories, you are opening that window for everybody on your page to be able to, answer that poll or drop their email or whatever call to action you're doing. But it's not your job to serve those people who aren't ready to be served. Okay. So I want you to find 50 intentional people. And you guys, this is my number. This is what I'm teaching my coaches. If you feel more comfortable with 30 people, absolutely. It's whatever you feel comfortable with. But just know that these 50 people are the only people you're really talking to throughout the week. Now, say you're going to start implementing this system this week, right? You're going to have a week lag where you're not going to be inviting anybody, because I want you guys to give those 50 people a week of your time. I want you to serve them on your page. I want you to serve them through your stories. I want you to connect with them. I want you to ask them questions on their posts. This isn't just like sending people, hey girls. Instead, I find so much more success really commenting on people's posts, asking them about their kids, asking them how their Christmas was, whatever it is, being intentional with conversations, because people want interaction on their page. So they are more likely to answer you if they see a public comment because they know other people are seeing it too. So you can move that from to private message if it leads to that. Like if I'm sending somebody a message or on their page and I'm like, oh my gosh, I absolutely love this outfit that you got for your daughter. Where'd you get it at? I'd love to get something similar for my baby girl. And she posted on it. I could send her a private message and say, hey, thank you so much for sharing that with me. I have trouble finding, cute outfits for Reagan, and I literally only shop at Target. So thanks for, letting me in on the loop, and have a great day. Not expecting anything in return, but just connecting and having that. And then for the next 5 days, however many days I seem fit, I'm going to continue to like and comment. These people most of the time are people who are active on their page. So you don't really want to add somebody to your 50 who hasn't posted in a week, because you're not going to have much to talk to them about if they're not actually being active on social media. So think about other people you would want to coach. You want to make sure they're being active at least, once every 3 days or so. Okay, so you have these 50 people. You're going to spend the first week. Now, let me preface this also by saying, if you are adding people on there that are on your dream team that you've connected with in the past, you may invite them the first week, and that's fine because you've already done, the previous work. But if you haven't, if these are new people you're adding to your network, or if they're people you've never connected with, or you don't feel like you've added value into their life, don't send them an invite right away. Okay, so spend that first week really just connecting with them. In the second week, you're going to invite all 50 of those people, whether it is to a free group, whether it's to a coaching sneak peek, whether it's to a webinar, whether it's to your challenge group, whether it's to coaching, whatever it is, you are going to invite every single one of those 50 people. And how this is going to go from then on out is going to be once a week, you're going to sit down and write down your 50 that you're going to connect with that week. That same week, you're going to pick, whether you want to connect with or invite people, 5 to 10 people a day for 5 days. You could do it that way. But you are going to be inviting these people throughout the week. I just invite all 50 in one day. I have 2 days that I do heavy work, and it is 1, finding my 50, 2, inviting my 50 for the next week. That way I can spend my time on the other days following up with these people, answering any messages, because those people will sort themselves out. Okay. So it is going to be finding your people, connecting for a week, and letting those people sort themselves out. It is not your decision to make. So they are going to make their own decision. Most people are already either looking for a fitness plan or they're not. So they already have a premeditated decision in their mind, and that's fine. If they don't answer you, it's fine. If they tell you no, it's fine. Let them sort themselves out. Through that 50, you're going to get between 5 and 10 people who say, yes, please send me some more information. And this is really where you need to decide where you want to take them. Something that's been working really, really well, and it may be uncomfortable for some people, but something that's been working really well for me and for my team is to get people on the phone. A lot of these 50 people that I'm inviting are coaches, because I'm looking to build my tribe. Do not be afraid to invite to the coaching opportunity, you guys. We have an incredible opportunity here. Look at how this has changed your life. Every time you go to send an invite that you feel scared about, think about where your life would be if Michael hadn't reached out to you. It wouldn't be where you want it, right? You wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be in this community. You wouldn't be as uplifted as you are now. Maybe you hadn't had any confidence before. Maybe you were able to lose some weight. Maybe you were able to connect with incredible women through this opportunity. Whatever it is, you have to pay that forward to other people, right? So if you're ever nervous about it, I really just want you to take a step back and say, where would I be without this? And make sure that you're sending those invites, okay? Let them sort themselves out. How you know that you've been consistent in your business is going to be that you had 10 conversations going at all time. So when you wake up in the morning and your inbox says 0 and nobody's messaged you back or done anything, you probably haven't been consistent in your business. And I'm just telling you that out of, tough love, but all the love, and saying that a lot of the times when my coaches have told me, I don't feel like I'm getting a good response, and then I'll ask them, okay, well, walk me through your past week, walk me through your past 2 weeks. There's always been a spot of inconsistency. This system is meant to stay consistent because you're not aiming to invite 50 people a day. It's 50 people a week, but you have to be, like I said, making sure that you're adding value. One thing that I really suggest for my coaches also is to make sure you're going live. You're going live at least once a week, talking about how you're doing your meal planning, talking about how you're prepping. Maybe you're talking about personal development that you've been doing, talking about a mom hack that, whatever. You can talk about your kid's favorite Christmas gift and, why they like it so much. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Something that would speak to your community, but you can go live on your Instagram. You can save that video, post it on your IGTV, and also post it on your Facebook. So you have 3 different platforms that you can put it on just by doing one video. Okay, so this is tons of value you're adding, and I want you guys to be thinking about this. Who's my niche market, and what kind of value would they want me to add? And think about what you would stop. Like, what scroll stopping posts get you to stop? Is it recipes? Is it before and afters? Is it fitness? Most of the time, before and afters are a lot of what gets people to stop, and a lot of people are scared to post them. So think about that too. Okay, so we call that your hot 10. You want to make sure that you have 10 conversations going at all times. And then we get people on the phone. We talk to them, I send them a message after I send them their invite, and they're like, yeah, you can send me some more information. This is typically where I would lose people. I'd send them, what our challenge group was about, what our business was about. And then I'd get ghosted. So instead I send them this message now, and I'm like, I could write you a novel on here about what this business is about or what this accountability group is about, but I'm going to spare you. Do you have 5 minutes that we could hop on a phone call so I can explain to you? That way I can answer any questions that you have, and we can see if this is for you or not. Really simple. I still get ghosted sometimes, but I've had a lot better people, or a lot better value, I think, I give out of talking to people on the phone, out of them hearing that I'm a real person. And I've recruited a lot more coaches that way. Good coaches. That's the main thing. Everybody who got me to Diamond, you guys, I don't think I have any of those coaches left. Okay. Because I built for numbers. I built a shallow diamond. When I'm building now, I want to build a brick house. Like, I want to build a solid foundation of coaches who see this and want the same thing I want, that are my people who want to raise their kids the same way as me, who want to, have their business be faith-centered. Like, I'm looking for specific people, and I really think that that's how you guys should do it too, is just make sure that you have that goal in your mind of who it is you want to be working with, and don't settle for anything, okay? Don't be afraid to tell somebody, I don't think we'd be a great fit. I literally just had to tell somebody this last week, and it was so heartbreaking, but I pointed them to another coach because I know how draining it is for me to work with people who just don't have the same vision as me, okay? So get people on the phone. How I'm doing it is, and this is totally up to Michael and what her schedule is like, but when my coaches are getting people on the phone, I'm hopping on the phone with her. We're doing 3-way calls in the beginning so that they can see how I talk to people, and then they're doing it on their own. This system is really duplicatable. It does take more time, but because I'm not spending as much time inviting people, it opens a lot of windows for me to do more one-on-one calls with my coaches and to do those 3-way calls. And then obviously you want to get customers and coaches out of that. So daily, you want to be doing 5 to 10 invites a day, okay? And 5 to 10 follow-ups. Here is the kicker, okay? We always hear the fortune is in the follow-up. It literally is. They said, I think it was Amy Silverman, who was one of the top coach, who's been a top coach for like forever. She posted this thing that said the only reason why the top of the company is at the top of the company is because they invite people, or they follow up with people 4 times more than the rest of people do. Most people don't follow up with people more than 3 times. It takes between 6 and 8 times for people to say yes from a follow-up. So that's a lot of times, right? Following up with people, but that's what you're doing. The other thing is that we're not waiting a long amount of time to follow up with people, because you know how you feel when you're excited about something, or you're thinking about something, do I want to do this? Do I not? And then you let it go too far, and then it just becomes like not important to you. You don't have that excitement. You don't really care about it as much. You don't have that passion. Well, that's what we want to keep with everybody else. So we want to make sure that when we're following up with people on our list, we're following up with them every 2 to 3 days. Okay. So 5 to 10 daily invites, 5 to 10 follow-ups, personal development above all else, and make sure you're tracking. You can't know if your business is doing what it's supposed to do if you're not tracking. So show up like a business owner and really make sure that you guys are tracking your business. So here's what you can aim for weekly, okay? 2 to 3 calls. Try to aim for 2 to 3 calls that you're getting people on the phone, stepping out of your comfort zone. Again, I know this can seem like really uncomfortable, but it makes it so much more personable when people can hear your voice. And if you feel more comfortable doing it on a Zoom or a FaceTime, you could do that. But I find a lot of people just like hopping on the phone more. 1 event a week, whether it's a free group, whether it's a webinar, whether it's a coach sneak peek, whatever it is, make sure that you have something every single week that you can be inviting people to, okay? And then try to connect with your upline coach once a week. I think that's really important. So anybody who's like actively working the business and really pushing for goals, like I make sure that I get on one-on-one calls with them that week, whether it's a quick phone call or whether we're doing a Zoom call, just so they know that I'm there for them. And we can help hold you to that extra level of accountability also. So last thing I want to talk to you guys about is the pace. So when you can measure your business and see, like, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? There's this pace that everybody keeps in mind. And this came straight from Bob Lucido, who is Keith Callahan's upline. And he's 52 years old and totally old school, but he is like a master at what he does. And I love this so much because it's such a good like way to just see if you really are moving your business forward. Yes, Success Club is awesome, but this kind of breaks it down a little more. Your daily disciplines, you guys, this is not something that ever goes away. The top coaches still have to invite, they still have to connect with people, they still have to add people to their network. Those things don't go away. I didn't talk about adding to your network, but I hope everybody knows that that's going to be a non-negotiable. Honestly, the people that I'm adding to my network that are following me back, they are going on my list. I've been adding like my 50 for the following week a little bit early, like maybe I'll have 10 or 15 people on there already because they're people who I've been following through this week who are following me back. And I'm like, awesome, I'm going to start connecting with them next week. So you can kind of set yourself up however you want. SC 5 to 10. If you guys are really serious about growing your business, the reason why you should be at SC 5 to 10 is because we want to be adding 2 to 3 at least new business builders on our team. That's 2 to 3 working coaches. And sometimes people are like, oh my gosh, I can't even hit Success Club now. You guys, it is just a mindset. It's honestly a mindset. If you think about running a successful business and you have to help 2 to 3 people a month, that is nothing. That's nothing to have a successful business. So first and foremost, we are aiming to serve, but with that will come the rest. So if you do the first step in adding value and serving and really showing up with people and seeing how can I help you without asking for anything in return, this will all come, okay? But I want this to be a way that you can gauge your business. Lastly, rank advancing every 90 days. Now, there is an exception to this. If you are not an Emerald coach, you can literally become Emerald tomorrow. So that does not count. It will not take 90 days to become Emerald. But once you hit Emerald, if you're sitting at Emerald right now, or Emerald's your goal and you want to hit Diamond, you know, aim every 90 days to be rank advancing. And this goes for Michael and I too. But here's the deal. Here's the kicker. If we all as a team work together, that'll naturally happen for Michael too. So if you guys work as a team and you are aiming to rank advance every 90 days, Michael will naturally rank advance, right? So it is such a team effort and it's a beautiful thing. One of the things that I really got stuck with, you guys, is that I was like flying solo. I was willing to do all the work, but I was like, okay, if my team's not going to work, that's okay. I'm just going to do all the work. I'm going to get myself to Diamond. Then I got my husband to Diamond in like 3 weeks. And I did everything so quickly because I was about to have Reagan. And I'm like, I got to do this before I pop a baby out. But it was really lonely. It wasn't how I was meant to be. I wasn't being a servant leader. I wasn't helping my coaches because I felt like they just weren't working as hard as me. And really what it is that not everybody works the same way you do. So you really have to take a step back and say, okay, this is how I work, you know? And I love the Enneagram test. Have you done that, Michael? Have you done that with your coaches? Yeah. What'd you say?
It's actually in the training. So I added it to the Shape of Grace Academy. So if you guys are making your way through that, you have to do that.
Yes. I was blown away at how many of my coaches actually are the same number as me. but it is cool to see. It's cool to see, how can I help you? You are driven by recognition. Awesome. Let me make sure that I'm shouting you out as much as possible. You're driven by income. Awesome. Let me show you how I can break down the compensation plan so that we can get you making, $500 a month to start out, or however much it is. That is something that is so important. So if you guys are thinking to yourself, I really want to take my business to the next level, and I would love for you guys to just post below what your next goals are, whether it doesn't matter if you're a brand new coach, it doesn't matter if you're Emerald, what is your plan for, let's say, the first quarter. So we have this diamond group that's going on right now. So by March, what is your plan? What do you want to be at? And it doesn't have to be necessarily just a rank. It could be an income. It could be, the amount of lives you're changing, whatever it is. Awesome, Michael. But you really need to have that, and then say, okay, let me backpedal this. Let me make sure I'm doing my daily disciplines. Check. Let me make sure I'm serving other people. I'm inviting. I'm doing all the things. And really, if you're coming from the right place and you have the right intentions, it's going to happen naturally, but you do have to do the work for it too. I just found that this system is a lot more relaxing for me. I'm not stressing out about every single day, sending invites every single day, having to do all these things. It's a lot more of, who can I serve? How can I serve them? And let me spend 2 days doing like the work. I say, like, it's so crazy because we see people like, who are in construction and doing like heavy work, and we're like, oh my gosh, this is so much work. I have to type to 20 people this day, but that's like our workload is 2 days a week really that I focus on, adding that 50 people to who I'm going to connect with, and then inviting 50 people, and then, connecting with them throughout the week. So, I'm using right now, and I can show you right now, I'm using a highlight system. So if you guys are a visual people, I can show you. I'm really just writing down 50 names, and I obviously can't fit 50 here, so I have them on the next page too. So I'm inviting 50 people, and then I'm writing down next to them the first time I connected with them. And then I'm just going to keep coming back here and just like going back and connecting with them. And then I highlight the date that I invited them. Okay, so then this person I followed up with, some of these people I haven't followed up with yet, or maybe this person answered me, I don't know what I put there. My first follow-up is that. So I highlighted everybody's date that I invited. These blues that are highlighted are people that I had phone calls with. So these are people that I've already talked to that are, considering joining my team or joining my accountability group. And that's pretty much how I do it. But these people are like my hot people. So they would be considered like my top 10. And I have them on the other page too, just people who are highlighted. And it seems to be like every 10 people, I get like 1 or 2 people that I'm hopping on the phone with, or that, if somebody says, I'd rather you just send me information on here. If I ask somebody to get on the phone and they don't answer me, then I just say, hey mama, I don't know if you got a chance or you saw my last message. Totally cool. I know mom life is so crazy. Would you rather me just send you some info on here? And sometimes they'll answer and say yes. Some people aren't comfortable with getting on the phone, and that's fine. But I will tell you, between sending people information online and getting on the phone with them, I have such a better conversion rate to signing coaches when I get them on the phone, because I get to talk to them. My last 3 coaches who were like good quality coaches, I signed right off of a phone call. So think about it. And, it may be something, like I said, that's out of your comfort zone right now, but it's something that, Michael, I'm sure would be willing to do with you and to talk to you about it, and decide if it's something that you want to start implementing. So what questions can I answer for you guys? Let me look at the chat and see what all your goals are too. Oh my gosh, Leah, I used to be the exact same way. I would literally invite, and it was the same thing as when I would like make a post, or I would like put my phone down and walk away, because I was like, I don't even want to see what people have to say. But they can feel that energy. So you need to go into it like so excited, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to change somebody's life today. This is going to be, I use this. But this is going to be something that like changes the trajectory of their life. Like, you just have to have that confidence. Okay, you guys feel like you're having a hard time finding your brand? Yeah? And products paid for and some extra income on top of that. Okay. Okay, I love that. So those of you who said that you're struggling with your brand, what made you commit to your journey? You can unmute yourself or you can post it below. Was it that you were looking for community? Were you looking for a solution to postpartum weight loss or just to weight loss in general? Maybe you were like self-conscious or insecure with yourself. What was it that made you decide that you wanted to be a part of this?
For me, it was definitely like postpartum weight loss was a huge thing, because with my first, like, the weight just fell right off, and I actually lost more than I had gained. But then my second pregnancy, it was like I lost like half of the weight, and then it just stopped.
Yes.
I was like, well, now I actually have to do something about it.
Same
And like
girl.
confidence has never been something that I've never had confidence ever. You know, I have an older sister who is beautiful and vibrant and outgoing, and everybody's always talked about how pretty she was and everything. And I just never felt like I, measured up to her.
Okay, so you struggle with the comparison game a little bit, it seems like. Okay. Well, first of all, you are beautiful and you are vibrant, and you don't ever have to feel like you're not, because that is, I would never even, like, I don't know how you don't see that in yourself, first of all. But I think that that's the first place you have to start, is you're looking to find confidence. You're looking for that when you're saying you never had it. So say your goal is to become a diamond. The person you are today is not the person that's going to get you to diamond. You have to become a person who would be confident being that diamond coach. So the number one thing I would tell you before you focus on your brand, because you're going to find your brand through your journey through this, is that you need to find something that's going to help you break through that. So what is a personal development? What is, what's speaking to you that can get you there? But there needs to be a breakthrough that happens first before you can figure that out. You know what I mean? Because sometimes when you're at that lost space, and trust me, I've been there. I literally talked to my coaches about how after I had my son, I wouldn't even take my shirt off in front of my husband. And I was like, that was such like a hard thing for me. Yeah. And then I thought it was like not a big deal. And then after I started talking to so many other women that they were like, oh my gosh, I literally like hide in the bathroom to take my shirt off, or I'm hiding in the closet to get dressed because I don't want my husband to see me. And I'm like, my gosh, like we just like birthed their children and we're so insecure with ourselves, so that was something that I had to do to break through. And I had to really say like, okay, what are the steps that would make me confident? Is it that maybe I haven't been, as dedicated to my nutrition plan as I should? Is it that I haven't seen a transformation? Because that's where I was. I was doing all the things. I was showing up as the model coach, but I hadn't had a transformation or stuck to a program from start to finish. And I couldn't tell you how long. So you need to just ask yourself, and you don't have to tell me this, but I want you to just ask yourself, what would make me feel that confidence? Is it that you need to commit to a program from start to finish to have that transformation, to get that confidence? Maybe that's it. Maybe it's something interior you have to work on. So you really need to decide. And that would honestly be my first suggestion, would be that maybe it's time to just slow down. And I have these awesome goals that I know I'm going to reach, but I'm never going to reach them in the shell of who I am now. So let me grow into that beautiful person that I already am, but I need to see that to grow into that person, to become that diamond coach, because you are that person already. And I see it, and I know Michael sees it, but you have to believe it. Okay. So I would decide for yourself, like I said, it's either going to be some kind of a personal development, or it's going to be, I need to stick to my nutrition. Because for me, I swam in personal development. I was like podcasts, books, like doing all the things, but I didn't want to have to commit because I love Chick-fil-A and Oreos. And but you got to do it. You got to do it. Okay. So that would be my suggestion. Really dig into you first. Okay. All right. Who else?
I'll go next.
Okay. Hi, Sierra.
My brand, listen, I'm actively like working on trying to implement like what I think my brand is.
Okay.
The problem is I keep attracting these like 50-year-old women, and I don't know why, but I tell you, like everybody who actually talks to me, like when I send like a message out to them or just comment on their stuff, they all turn out to be like these 50-year-old women. And they have great,
gosh.
but they're in such a different place than I am. And it's really difficult. Like I can go so far, but then I stop being able to relate to them because they're having grandchildren and I have a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
So that trips me out.
Okay, so let me tell you something. Well, let me ask you something. When you talk on your posts, are you talking to those people you're trying to reach out to, or you just feel like you're speaking to everybody?
I kind of feel like right now I'm speaking to everybody, trying to focus a little more. I just started doing that like a couple weeks ago.
Okay, so when you're speaking to everybody or trying to speak to everybody, you're not going to reach anybody. So you need to hone in on that. So you have a 2-year-old, or do you only have one child?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is it a boy or girl?
Girl.
Girl. Okay, awesome. So I would be talking to other girl moms, and I wouldn't be afraid to say it. I used to be so scared to come out and say, like, I totally get you, mama, or like talk about other moms, because I have coaches on my teams who aren't moms. But I had to say, that's okay. They were attracted to me for something different. It wasn't motherhood. But if I'm looking to work with other people who are moms or who are faith driven, I can't be afraid to talk about my faith, and I can't be afraid to talk to specifically other moms. So when you go on your stories, when you go on your posts, I want you to speak like you are speaking to me right now. Like you were speaking to one person, and who would that one person be that you want to talk to? Is it a mom? Is it somebody who's a busy mom that's working full time, who maybe wants more presence in their life? Is it somebody who needs more income in their life? Is it somebody who just wants more time freedom to, be able to make their own decisions? Whatever situation you're in, you have to look at who's the person when I started my business. Maybe you're speaking to that person, or who's the person you are now. Maybe you're speaking to that person, but you want to, as fun as it is to hang out with my mom, you do not want to be like having a full team of 50-year-olds, okay? So you want it to be other people who are going through the same stage of life. But typically when that happens, when you're attracting the wrong people, it's because you're not speaking to that specific person. So don't be afraid to hone in on that. You're not going to offend anybody else. You are just going to hone in. And I can honestly tell you, when you find those people, it is like fireworks go off and you're like, I did not know another me existed somewhere else in the world. It's so cool. So trust me, it's worth it. Just sit down and say, okay, this is who I am. Who do I want to attract? And write down, this is another fun activity to do. I did it to myself and it's kind of like a gut punch, but you write down the top 10 characteristics that you would want out of a coach, whether you want somebody to be, like I said, faith-driven or, hardworking, consistent, whatever it is. And then you rate yourself on those things 1 to 10. And it's so hard because you're like, holy moly, how can I expect my team or my future team to do this if I'm not doing it too? And that's what you work yourself towards. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And keep me posted because I want to hear that you're talking to other like 20 and 30-year-olds and not 50-year-olds, okay?
I just had this epiphany because like I'm a therapist. So that's who I talk to all day long, are these 40 and 50-year-old people.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I'm just doing that every day now.
Yeah.
So I need to cool it on my
yes. Talk to other young moms. Yeah, hone in on that. Good. Anyone else?
No.
I have a note question.
Yeah.
Like complete side note. So I know like for me and Jamie, we talk about this all the time, but when you were working, what were the things that you did like that were like complete non-negotiables? I have to do this even if I'm tired and I don't have time and it's crazy in our house when we get home.
Yeah.
Like was there anything that besides like the vitals?
That was
like
it.
is it just that, or was there anything else that like
Honestly, so times were a lot different in 2016 when I started my business. We were supposed to post between 3 to 5 times a day. So when I was working at the hospital, rotating shifts, it was mostly like I had a timer that went off on my phone that was like, okay, you have to post at this time, you have to post at that time, you have to post at this time, because that's what got the algorithms. So literally, I woke up between 4 and 5 in the morning and I got my workout done. My non-negotiable was my own health and fitness journey and inviting. That's it. I strictly I was able to match my income by just inviting every single day. And I invited, Heather and I would get on a call and I would invite, I want to say 20 people a day, but I did it religiously. Like every single day I showed up. Alex did not sleep for his first 18 months of his life. And like I said, for the first year, I was working full time. But it's really just, this is like the hard part. The hard part is really just asking yourself, like, when was the last time you were consistent in your business for an entire month? That you sent invites, showed up for your nutrition, did all the business owner things for an entire month. Can anybody on here tell me that you've honestly done that for 30 full days? That's it. That's honestly it. I had to give myself that gut check and say, okay, if I want to match my income, if I want to be a business owner, if I want to see success, then I have to start giving myself that tough love and say, okay, Rachel, we know you can do this because so many other people have done it before you, but you need to be honest with yourself and say, what are you willing to sacrifice? So that was it. It was being the best proof of the product that I could be, because my first transformation is what really blew up my business in the beginning, was me being postpartum and having that transformation, committing to, shift shop and all of that to a T. And then just making sure that I'm inviting, because those people who are watching my transformation, they may be watching like, oh, I might be interested in doing that, but they'll never reach out to me. So I have to make sure I'm reaching out to those people. So if I could give you 2 things to do, it's be consistent with your own health and fitness journey to the point that you can take transformation pictures every single week and see a transformation, whether it's muscle gain, whether it's more confidence, whether it's, less cravings or, clear-minded, less, more energy, whatever it is, you can document that, because other people, even if you don't have any weight to lose, other people might need that more energy that you're experiencing by drinking Shakeology consistently and focusing on your nutrition. So I would say focus on your nutrition, your fitness journey, and then send invites for sure.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. But that's like a hard pill to swallow too, to really ask yourself, when was the last time I was consistent for an entire month? And I ask my coaches that too, like, let's see if we can be consistent for an entire month, and then go to next month and see if we can do it for, the next month. So
yeah.
Anybody else have any questions? You good?
Good. Well, Rachel, this was amazing. Thank you so much. I'm going to stop recording.